అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. సర్వేభ్యో నమో నమః. सबको नमस्कारः. Today is a different topic, especially a technical topic like Vimana Sastra by our Guruji CSR Prabhu garu. And so far we have completed Vedas, Vedangas, Dharmashastras, Upanishads, Darshanas. Some important topics we have covered. All of you please go through the YouTube recordings already made public to all of you. We are going to have a test, practice test during next month. I think around 7th or 8th, you may see the program. And if you want to have a practice test to practice test, that is also given in your course manual at the end, last page. If you see, you will get it. You click on that URL, you will get that practice test. You can practice it. Now, we will start the session with paying respects to our country by singing, reciting Vande Mataram, after that Prarthana. Let us request Challa Chittibabu garu to recite Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malaya Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Subrajyosna Pulakitayamini, Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini, Suhasini, Sumadhura Bhashini, Sukhadam Varadam, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram. Namaskar.
Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Thank you so much. Now, let us request Venkat Narayan garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Meditation for a minute. Omkaram 3 times. Om. 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 Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvannotibhisida Sadanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vityavatu ॐ श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे, गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः, मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव, पितृदेवो भव, आचार्य देवो भव, अतिथि देवो भव। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्।
ధన్యవాదములండి. హరి ఓం. గురుభ్యో నమః. Now let us request CSR Prabhu Garu to start the session, please.
Okay, all of you stand hands tight and legs together. And we will do the yogic sukshma vayama. First is cleaning the throat. Vishuddha chakra shuddhi. At this height, keep the thread. Next prayer, Mano Nadi Shakti Vikas. Press this notch here. Concentrate on our Gurus, Maharshi Kartikeya, who designed this sukshma vayama. Kiran Brahmachari and Suri Raghav Dikshit who have taught this. Then Buddhi Tata Bhakti Shakti Vikasa. Bend head back, concentrate on this portion and repeat the same way. Then Smarana Shakti Vikasa, 45 degrees, bend head, bend the head and keep concentrate here. Medha Shakti Vikasa, press the chin to the chest, close the eyes, concentrate here. Om Netra Shakti Vikasa. Fix the gaze on fingertip and lift the head without closing eyes. Go to the top and keep on gazing until your eyes burn. The eyes burn, close your eyes. 6 times. So, Apolaka Shakti Vikasa for cheeks and teeth. Close your nose with two thumbs, make your tongue like a spoon, and breathe in and hold the breath while blowing the cheeks. Closing the eyes and press cheek. And lift up the head and breathe out through the nose 6 times. Next, Karna Shakti Vikasa, Kshanmukhi Mudra. Same thing, but closing the ears without removing from the ears 6 times. Close the ears, eyes, nose. Oh, Griva Shakti Vikasa. Fourth, pull the neck up. Next, shoulders. Skandha Tatha Bahu Mula Shakti Vikasa. Blow the cheeks, press the chin to the chest, close the eyes. While holding the breath, move the shoulders up and down without bending the elbows. With fist closed with thumb inside. leg space for the hands. Keep the hands at right angles. Rheumatic pains, arthritic pains in hands, everything will go and will not come. I'm 70, I have no problems whatsoever. You live perfectly healthy till your last day of it can be 8 years, 90 years, 100 years. It depends on how sincerely you practice. Angudi Moola Shikti. Horizontal. Okay, now we are adding some new exercises, that is Vakshasthala Shakti Vikasa for the chest. So breathe in and lift your hands and bend back as much as you can. Six times, at least 3 times. Breathe in, go back without comfort. Don't bend back. Don't forward. Next, lower chest. Pakshasthala number. Now we go for the abdomen. Udara Shakti Vikasa. Number 1. Breathe out and pull in the abdomen as much as you can. Breathe in and come out. Same thing. Looking up. Same thing, looking down. 45 degrees. This is Bhastrika in Sukshma. Now, Kak Mudra. Take breath through the mouth like last time we did and hold the breath for a long time as much as you can by blowing the abdomen also by blowing the cheeks and touching the chin to the chest. Hold the breath for some time as comfortable and lift the head and breathe out to the nose. If you hold too long, you'll get weakness and well, next, bend 60 degrees and do the same abdominal breath. Next, bend 90 degrees and repeat the same abdominal breath. Next, at 60 degrees, breathe out and shake the abdomen up and down without breath, like you shake a blanket. Repeat the same at 90 degrees. Okay, now go to Shavasana. Turn to the left. Center. Turn to the right. Come back to center. Okay, now we will do one Sastra. Breathe out and press. Breathe in and release. Utkada Pawan. उद्दान शिरसासन पश्चिमोत्तान पश्चिम. पश्चिमोत्तान. Go for Vajrasana. See the toes are touching each other like a diamond cut. Please together. This is Vajrasana. You can sit for a long time in this pose. It also goes for meditation. The Shankasana, bend forward when you cross. Then Supta Vajrasana, bend backwards if you can. Don't try if you cannot. Now go to Shavasana once again. Deep breathing. Turn to the left. Center. Turn to the right. Center. Take deep breaths. Okay, now we go for Pranayam and Omkaram. After that, we'll go for third daily session on the marches. Take deep breath from left and they go to right and take the right to left. On Padmasana or Sukhasana, as you like. If you can do Padmasana, do Padmasana, otherwise sit. In this Sukhasana, it is called Baspect place Kuchodam to Vyasapita. Sectional breathing, upper chest, mid chest, abdomen. द्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्ति ओषधयः शान्तिर्वनस्पतयः शान्तिः विश्वे देवाः शान्तिः ब्रह्म शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्. So we have finished today's yoga session. Now we will go for the Vimana Shastra session. When I was in JNTU College of Engineering during 71 to 76, I happened to have access to one book from State Central Library of Nizam Sasafia Library. It is called Vimana Shastra. That book was published in 1959 by Arya Pratinidhi Sabha in Delhi. And I sat with my classmates and my juniors, particularly one Mr. Yoganandam at JNTU College of Engineering at Massap Tank those days. Kukatpalli was not built. In the lawns in lunchtime, and we were trying to decipher the contents of the text in our own way. By then, I already knew Sanskrit through the Panini's Ashtadhyayi, which I learned at the age of 12. So I was able to interpret some of the portions of the text, and we identified around 13 electrical machines Vidyut Yantra, Vidyut Dvadashaka Yantra, Vidyut Utpadaka Yantra, which were similar to a DC motor or a battery or a generator. All DC, no AC was there. And we were not able to go further deep because we were very busy and we didn't have any practical laboratory equipment facilities for trying out any of those things except our own college laboratories, which are not accessible for this kind of work, and we didn't have time. And then I shifted to IIT Bombay to join MTech in electrical engineering department and specialization in computer science. I was teaching yoga in IIT Bombay during 76 to 78 in hostel number 1. A lot of people learned. During that time, one Mr. Naren Sheth of Bombay City, he was a travel agent. He owned a travel agency by name Aero Agencies. He also learned yoga from me. He used to live in a place called Kemp's Corner in Bombay City. So he used to come to IIT regularly and produce one material called Chumbakamani, which is having 20 inputs as given in the Vimana Sastra. And he produced it in the IIT Bombay Department of Chemical Engineering. There was one lecturer by name Buskute who was collaborating with him in producing that material, in offering the lab facilities. And that material was described in the Guhagarbhadarsha Yantra. In that Vimana Shastra, there are 31 yantras. So one of them was Guhagarbhadarsha Yantra. So he produced that material in that laboratory. And that material is called Chumbakamani. And it showed extraordinary properties of being a soft ferrite and also a semiconductor. The semiconductors came into existence only in 1956, whereas this book was published based on manuscripts which are handwritten in 1911-1912 by one G. Venkatachalam Sharma, based on the dictations of one B.V. Subbaraya Shastri of Anekal nearby. He was also Bharatgaj Gotra, Telugu speaking. So the mystery of how a book which was recorded physically in 1911 could contain semiconductors, which were later produced as germanium and silicon in 1956, discovery by Watson and others in America, in IBM. That was a big sensation. This is not a single element like silicon, but it is a mixture of many inputs. There are many inputs, and that mixture, not even a compound, it is a mixture. It demonstrated semiconductor properties and even photovoltaic properties. So the CSIR instituted a Chumbakamani project, and Professor Maheshwar Sharan, who was a chemistry professor at that time in IIT Bombay, chemistry department. He was assigned funds by CSIR to investigate the matter as a project, and he recruited JRFs, SRFs. I saw the advertisement Chumbakamani project in Times of India, and he repeated all the steps. And finally, he declared that it is true. Probably he just repeated whatever was done previously and must have tested. The testing was done in TIFR also in Bombay. I was only a witness to all this. I was not a participant in all this because I was just a student there, and that in a different department. I was only being explained these things by Naren Sheth, who was my yoga student like all of you, and was also a very good friend of mine. So this Naren Sheth made 3 items: Chumbakamani, Paragranthika Drava, that is a kind of an acid kind of liquid, and one Panchadhara Loha, had some 5 elements in it, it had some special properties to use for the wires and junctions connecting to the Chumbak Mani, etc. And when Chumbak Mani is kept inside the Paragranthika Drava, and wires made of Panchadhara Loha were used, it was able to produce microwave radiation which could penetrate underground in the earth and hit the metallic objects and return back the signals to the machine, which is kept in the bosom of the Vimana in the sky. So those signals will be projected onto a screen and an image will come of the underground shells, bombs, etc. This is the Guha Garbha Adarsha Yantra. And that Adarsha was made up of some coating, a mirror kind of thing with a Pata Niryasa Lepa, Guha Garbha Adarsha Yantra. So nobody can make the total Yantra, but at least some parts they made. And this was creating great sensation. And at that time, I left Bombay IT and joined TCS in Bombay. And finally left TCS within a year and came to CMC in Hyderabad as systems engineer. And within a year or so, I left CMC Hyderabad to CMC projects in USA. 1981, I left in May, and I was in Florida and Georgia. And finally, I went to visit MIT in Boston in 81 November to stay with my close friend Kumar Nochur, who is still in Boston area. He's a big shot there. So at that time, I spoke about this to various people in MIT, and they were very thrilled, particularly the Asians. Apart from Indians, we had Bangladeshis and Pakistanis, and even Chinese and Arabs, who all felt that even if one word of this text is true, then it proves that science and technology originated in the East and not in the West. First, that was very important for them. So they asked me to bring that book. That book was not there with me. It was in India. After that, I shifted to California with my job connection. I joined a telco software projects in California, Irvine, Southern California, Orange County, where in the University of California at Irvine, UCI, I told about this, and when Srivatsan was there, he was very keen. Many others were very keen. You bring that book, we'll test it and do research like that. But that book was not there with me. So finally, I came back to India and my own design, because I found that a lot of people who settled down with green card and permanent residency there and citizenship, they are suffering a lot of problems, particularly with their children who were Americanized and who were eating beef and all that kind of thing, and drugs, and girl children were getting, sexually promiscuous and abused. All that environment was not good, though financially and in other aspects, technologically, it is a very advanced country. Culturally, it is a very backward country. So our Indians are like cultural refugees there. They are suffering the domination of whites, blacks, and Chinese, Japanese, Koreans who are around them. Spanish, like my one side neighbor was Spanish, who didn't know English. The other side neighbor was a Chinese, who didn't know English. So English is like our mother tongue there, but we couldn't even speak English because of all these people. And Negroes were there, very ferocious. And even whites were very uncivilized, they were dancing naked. So finally we decided that we should come back, and I came back to transfer to Telco Pune, and later on I landed up in Hyderabad. I was the head of NIC Hyderabad. At that time, Dr. B.G. Siddharth, the head of the Birla Planetarium, came to me and he said, is there any Sanskrit text referring to glasses? Because he feels that the Rig Veda contains references to Mercury and Venus having phases like moon. So waxing and waning. So I said there's a whole chapter on glasses in the Vimana Shastra. He said, you give it to me. I said, no, I will not give it to you unless you conduct some research or conduct some event or some such thing. So finally, he conducted one conference on ancient Indian science and technology in Birla Planetarium, Bhaskar Auditorium in 1990, December, which was visited by VIP N. Janardhan Reddy, who became CM later. So I was the presiding president of that event. We received about 20 different papers and presentations, out of which one we arranged by the IIT Bombay team, Naren Sheth. He was invited from Bombay. He was paid travel expenditure. He came and demonstrated the Chumbak Mani. And when he demonstrated Chumbak Mani, submersion, Paragrandhika draw, and with Panchadhara wires and exposed to sunlight, it delivered current, photovoltaic effect, around 0.4 EV, comparable to germanium. So it is confirmed as semiconductor, and also it was able to generate certain microwave radiation, apparently. So all this was given to the press. A Hindu newspaper wrote an article. At that time, internet, email, nothing was there. So immediately we started getting phone calls, and emails were not there, from Russia and from America. The Hindu newspaper wrote an article, did ancient Indians know semiconductors, question mark. So in that conference, one person, Yanamanda Ramakrishna, who was a central excise officer, who he came and told, I saw the original manuscript of this Vimana Shastra and also many other Shastras in the house of the great-grandson of B.V. Subhraya Shastri, who dictated these books, and G. Venkatachala Sharma is the scribe who recorded on old glazed paper in 1911 onwards up to 1930. And in 1942, Subhraya Shastri died. So he said he can locate that house even now after 36 years. So we went to Bangalore with him and with a person from Salarjung Museum, and we had one Xerox machine with us in case we find anything, we can Xerox. So after going to Bangalore, we went to Seshadripuram, where one B.V. Srinivas Murthy, he must be staying even now there, I don't know. He was the son of Venkatram Shastri, who was the adopted son of the daughter of Subbaraya Shastri. So in his house, there was an old box containing hundreds of pages of manuscripts and old glazed paper, including the Vimana Shastra and Shubhodhini and Kritagavajranaya and Rajyatantra, Aptattvapanyasa, Niganasamaparijata, and so on. Different texts belonging to different authors, all dictated orally by Subhraya Shastri, closing his eyes in a mudra. So the B. Surnarayan Rao, who is the grandfather of B.V. Raman, the astrology magazine, you must have seen of a magazine called the Astrological Magazine. It's published by now B.V. Raman's daughter. Previously, B.V. Raman was the person. He invited me to Bangalore and showed me the old magazine journal, Bhautika Kalanidhi, in which Subhraya Shastri's Vimana Shastra portions were printed, which are not available in the normal Hindi version. So in Bangalore, these people said all these books were there. Some books are here, some books are missing. They showed one receipt where some 90 manuscripts were taken by one G.R. Joshiar of Mysore from Bangalore during that time. A lady who was in middle ages, who was a small girl at that time, told me, in the daughter of that house, that this man took to Mysore and he saw. So I went to Mysore and tried to catch hold of that man. Okay, but I didn't realize that that man G.R. Joseph is no more. He left for the heavens, and his son is there, G.N. Joshi. So when we asked him, he said, no, we don't have anything. We have whatever we had, we have given off to somebody else. So he gave some names of some people. Of course, that G.N. Joseph produced one book in English translation of the Vimana Shastra. The remaining books, Valmiki Ganitam and other things, are missing. So we then went to, in that receipt, there is also one mention of one Subramania Iyer in Shimoga. So I wrote a letter to him that, I want to meet you. I'll come to Shimoga if required, because I want to locate some of these lost manuscripts. Then he said, no, I'll come to Bangalore. He came to Vayali Kaval in Bangalore and showed me whatever he had. He had only Amshubodhini, and he wrote some notes and all that. He was happy that somebody is now coming to trace out all this. But he didn't have all of the books. He said he gave it to one Jitabindu Maharshi in Jayanagar. So then that person said he gave it to another person who was in film industry, producer. So like this, nothing was traceable. Whatever was there in the house of Srinivas Murthy and whatever Subramania Iyer gave, only that we got hold of and we xeroxed. Subramania Iyer handed over the whatever he has. Then I brought everything to Hyderabad and kept it my house, and copies were made and kept at Birla Planetarium Library also. So we conducted a press conference saying that we brought all these things from Bangalore, and we formed a committee, myself for the Sanskrit part, and Dr. B.G. Siddharth for the Birla Science Center support, and Professor M.C. Ganorkar, who was the chemistry department HOD of Usman University, but retired, and he was employed as director of Birla Institute of Scientific Research located at Dilsukh Nagar in Hyderabad. So he had PhD students. So we said we will try to produce something new, and in the process, we tried to bring in. I need some more time to bring in Naren Sheth from Bombay, who refused to come because unless he is given patent rights, he will not come. So since he refused to come, we were in an embarrassing situation whether we will have to apologize or we don't know what to do with the press conference commitments we gave. So to rescue the situation, I entered into the shoes of Naren Sheth to decipher something out of these texts and produce. So in the process, I have studied around 200 materials. This is the Vimana Shastra text, the old copy in Hindi translation of Vimana Shastra by Brahmamuni Parivrajak of Gurukul Kangdi in Haridwar. And this is the English translation text of G.N. Joseph along with the Vimana Shastra text, which is a bit bad quality in terms of the content of the translation. And so I deciphered after about 6 months to 1 year of hard work every day, 3 o'clock, I get up and sit through. And finally, I produced one Tamogarbhaloha, which is from Tamo Yantra, which is meant for generating darkness to make invisibility created. So it is like if you keep an ice box in a room, the room will become cold because ice is a heat sink. Similarly, if you have a light sink with a photochemical reaction which is capable of absorbing light, like we have exothermal, endothermal reactions. We also have reactions which generate light and reactions which absorb light. So if you execute a reaction which is absorbing light at a rate higher than the existence of the ambient light, then there will be darkness created in the house or in location. That is Tamo Yantra. So for that, they had a box made up of one tamogarbha loha, which is absorbing light. And I produced it in the lab of Birla Institute of Scientific Research. This is the black-eyed substance. We have many shapes in it. So it is made up of lead and lead oxide and lead sulfide. And this we have tested in the physics department of Osmania University, where it could absorb 79% of red ruby laser light. That we measured the absorption characteristics, absorption and reflection. So that is confirming the functionality of Tamogarbha Loha. Then I produced one Panchaloha from Pushpini Yantra. It is not the normal Panchaloha of later period, which contained gold and silver. This is without gold and silver. It is a golden type looking alloy. I produced different samples in different sizes. And I'll show you something more. So this is reproduced recently at Jain University in Bangalore. This is the golden, it is Hemavarnam Rudulam. It is soft in malleability and ductility. And it could be used to, and we found a special characteristic of being very corrosion resistant, which no other material, no other copper alloy. All copper alloys are very bad in salt, sodium chloride solution. This in 4% saturated sodium chloride solution, this material was producing 1,000 times less corrosion, loss of weight. Is 0.002 milligrams per decimeter per day. Then finally, I produced this Vakra Prasarana Yantra, which is having 16 gear wheels in it. Karkachangula Chakrebhyo, Shodashebhyo. This is input and these are the outputs. So there are two outputs. One is the forward and another is the reverse. Reverse gear will be possible. And forward gear is multiplying 2.3 times. And in between, if you take outputs, different speeds can be achieved. And 8 gearbox, 8 gear wheels are there in this gearbox. So these are the proofs that the Vimana Shastra is not a hoax. It is a reality. Only we may not be able to decipher everything because of the difficulty involved in the language characteristics and the archaic words used. It is not ordinary Sanskrit. You are all, learning Sanskrit. What you are learning is just very basic. So just learning Sanskrit doesn't mean Sanskrit has many variations and versions. We have the Vedic Sanskrit different from classical Sanskrit, which is Valmiki's. Valmiki is Adikavi for which Sanskrit? Not for Vedas. Only for a different Sanskrit, which is called classical Sanskrit. And even that will be changing from time to time. The Mahabharata Sanskrit is different from Ramayana Sanskrit in some ways, though it is all Sanskrit. And similarly, the modern Sanskrit is different, which people write poetry and all today. So these texts are coming from a very ancient period, and some of them contain some of the Vedic characters like Upadhaniya and so on, and some other contain some other characteristics. So different periods of time, different characteristics of Sanskrit language were reflected in the quotations given in this book. This book is not an independent text. It is a quotation of many other texts, around 100 texts. And none of them are available, but some names were known, like Agastya Samhita is known. So this is the story of Vimana Shastra. Later, I hit a roadblock because we could not get furnaces beyond 1400 degrees in anywhere in Hyderabad. So I switched over to biological products. I made one Agni Stambhanam. That is a spray. If you spray on any object like paper, it will not burn in flame. And Anaharam, which is a laddu, which you eat, you don't require food for half a day. If you eat it every day for 40 days, you will be freed from overweight and diabetes. All these are given in a report, which I will share with you in the group today. So I finished my lecture on Vimana Shastra.
Okay. And now we'll have another 10 minutes or so.
Okay, I think Amar Singh ji wants to talk.
We'll have a question answer session now.
Yes.
Okay, Amar Singh sir.
Prabhuji, Shubhanyam, I want to ask one thing, see, I'm also a mechanical engineer, and the way you showed the things according to Vimana Shastram, you have developed some materials. So I was also looking to find out that, in material science engineering, I was thinking to do research. I'm a master's in industrial, being mechanical. I'm from an IIT in Nagpur. I did my master's, so I was looking for a research in PhD in material science. So if you could suggest me some Sanskrit text or a book which can give a broad aspect, because recently I thought I found that there is some kind of Sanskrit jnana which will make what you call mercury into gold. So do we
No,
have that kind of thing?
that particular mercury into gold, if you are trying to make, just drop that topic, you take any other topic. Okay. So
And definitely, okay. Where
I
we
have
can
many-
find,
no, there are
Sorry.
many texts. The Vimana Shastra itself has many materials. You read my report first, then
Okay.
maybe you will find something interesting in the materials which I made and which I deciphered but could not finish. So those things you can take up. That is one option. Second
Thank you,
option
sir.
is, okay, you do that first. After that, we'll see second. I'll put the report in the group. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
next.
one more thing. Surya Namaskar can cover this all yoga asanas, or we need to do this
No, not
yoga
all.
asanas?
Because Surya Namaskara has around 12 yogasanas if performed correctly. But mostly people are performing very shortcut Surya Namaskara, which has around 6 asanas. That is not adequate. That is okay. It is good as a general overall exercise, but there are many other asanas. Like for example, inverted poses.
Okay.
They work on the brain. Surya Namaskara, nothing. Okay. It has a certain, it is okay as a general fitness. So that is a subject by itself. Okay. But I have covered that also in my book on yoga asanas. Surya Namaskara full version is covered. Normally people are doing half version or a 1/4 version. Because Sukshma is a different subject, Asana is a different subject, Surya Namaskar is a different subject, Kriyas are a different subject, Pranayama is a different subject. In that, Raja Yoga Pranayama is a different subject, Adha Yoga Pranayama. And then Jhana, meditation, different techniques, all are different. It's a vast ocean of knowledge, Yoga Shastra. Okay. Next.
Okay, sir. And last doubt, sir. After eating, our mind will go into stomach, and it will think of that it needs to digest the food. So after eating food, should we sit or should we walk? Because if we go on reading now, mind will be busy in digestion of the food, and if we concentrate on reading, it will not help us. So what we should do after eating food?
After immediately after eating food, sit on Vajrasana for 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's all. After that, you can do all other work. You can sit on Vajrasana anytime. You can sit on Vajrasana while watching TV or reading books or reading newspaper or discussing politics. Anytime you can sit on Vajrasana. I was sitting in Vajrasana even in the office chair, in the office.
That's not possible, sir, but okay.
It is possible. You
Okay,
can sit in
fine.
Vajrasana in your office chair. It's not
Carefully.
impossible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sharda garu.
Namaskaram andi. Sir,
Yes.
I want to know what is anaharam. Is there any medicine now available to reduce the obesity?
Yes,
Any trade name?
I'm having with me, only with me. It's not available outside. It is a new product. I'm having with me one laddu will be there. If you eat that laddu, your stomach will be full. You will not be interested in eating food for that day, half a day. So if you repeat for 40 days, your weight will come down.
Is there any side effect of it?
No, absolutely none. All are edible food ingredients.
Okay. So we
No,
cannot get
drug in
it. We cannot get it.
No, you can get it from me if you come and take Brahma.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, what you told Gruha Garbha Akarshana Yantra is the basis for bomb detector?
Yeah, it is a bomb detector in the Vimana Shastra,
Oh,
not
okay.
today. In their time, their technology.
Okay. Yesterday I was searching for the books. I got 2 books of Vimana Shastra and Bruhad Jatakam and so many books I got, sir. I don't know. I was not able to read the script properly.
No,
That may,
Bruhad Jatakam is Jyotisha. No, it's not Bruhad. Vimana Shastra.
yeah, I got the books. I was searching for something. I got those books.
See, in Hindi.
No, in Sanskrit and some, I think, Hindi explanation.
Yeah, same thing. That is Brahma Muni Parivrajak of Gurukul Kant. Yeah, you have to study. If you study them, the books are available in the market in some cases. English is also available. J.R. Josier. Okay, next.
Dhanyawada, Mahoday.
Okay, now I think there are no questions.
Okay.
We'll go for Prarthana. Venkatramana garu?
Narayana.
Venkat Narayan garu. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तान् न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదాలు ధన్యవాదములండి వెంకటరమణ గారు వెంకటనారాయణ గారు. నౌ లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ జనగణమన. పిల్ల చిట్టిబాబు గారు.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद जय हिंद
జై హింద్.
गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः.
గురుభ్యో నమః. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.